Aloha race fans, welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting here on Tuesday night. We're proud to bring you, as always, the Arca Evolution Series here at the world famous North Wilkesboro Speedway here tonight. And always the proud sponsor here at Evolution Racing Leagues is Nissan Central, the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. I'm Zach Hall, and alongside me in the booth tonight will be my partner in crime, Brandon Colley, calling all the shots here with me on this beautiful racetrack. And we'll have Robert Moyer Jr. up top running the cameras and giving us all the beautiful shots around this wonderful racetrack here at North Wilkesboro. But what are you thinking about tonight, Brandon, on this very tough old racetrack?
Well, Zach, I'm thinking that drivers are going to be in for quite a handful with these cars. We know the straightaways kind of fall away from each other. One's uphill, one's downhill. Makes for a lot of fun and different approaches to the corners. So these guys are really going to have to be on top of it and remembering which side of the track they're on and how that affects the car.
Oh, it definitely will be. Is, going down to turn 3, you go uphill, and then going to turn 1, you go downhill. So it's completely two different, entries, two different corners. Should make for some exciting racing here in these Arca cars tonight, as we got a pretty sizable field also here at North Wilkesboro. It's going to be pretty fun to watch, and also really tough. This track, you can use multiple different grooves. I've seen it come into fruition where you have guys running the top, the bottom, everywhere. So we should be able to see some pretty good racing here tonight.
Yeah, it seems like especially that middle groove late in the run really comes in. You can carry a lot of speed there. Coming up to turn 3, that entry, just how it kind of flattens out as you're going uphill, really promotes the car getting loose. And if you go in too hard, you might get a little loose on entry and catch that curb, and might ruin somebody else's day doing it.
Very much so. Might ruin someone's day very easily here. It's not a lot of place to go if something happens in front of you. So it is a pretty wide surface, but at the same time it's a short track, so stuff happens real quick. So with these Arca cars, damage model is unforgiving, especially with no fast repairs, a 40% fuel load. We do have unlimited set of tires here tonight, but I tell you, 123-degree track temp too. We got a pretty hot little surface here.
Yeah, that's really promoting that loose condition. These guys are going to be feeling off the corners. A lot of throttle control is going to be needed here to not burn up your right rear and get a lot of power down off the corner late in the run.
Yes, it will be. It'll be very tough. This track is it's really, what is it? The newest oval surface that we've got on iRacing. It definitely has its characteristics to it, and a lot of us drivers really haven't learned it that well yet. Every little tip and trick about this place. So it's still one of the ones that's kind of not everybody's figured out yet. So we'll just see people really all over the place is what I expect as practice is finishing up, and we're about to head to qualifying to see who can win tonight's Sheffield Graphics Pole.
Yeah, and as you said, there's a lot of unknowns about this place as it's being the newest oval that we have here, and I'm interested to see if anybody's been able to really figure out much in practice other than the traditional line. Maybe run a little bit longer and figure out what the tires do on the fall off. But yes, we roll into qualifying here. I believe it was James Court in the 38 that was quickest in practice, so we'll see if he can follow that up with a quick time qualifying.
Well, let's see if he can back up that practice time as we're getting into qualifying now. It'll be interesting to see who can pull off this pole here and get out here early, because the way you always speak about it every week here in the Arca Evolution Series here at Evolution Racing Series, you've got to really get a good qualifying position, in my opinion, to put yourself up front to have that track position with it only being 60 to 50 lap races usually.
Yeah, the shorter races definitely promote good qualifying effort. You've almost got to be really aggressive because there's not much time to make up a lot of positions.
Not a lot of time to make up positions here as we're watching these gentlemen put their qualifying laps down here. So far right now, it looks like James Courtrun is the top man on the board, backing up his practice time a little bit, about 2/10 slower than what he ran in practice. Glad to see if someone can, pick up where they ran in practice and maybe sit themselves on top of the board. But right now, James Courtrun is your man on top.
Yeah, and I believe that fall off, from practice time to qualifying, just a lot to do with the track temp going up. Because right now we're sitting at a blistering 122 for track temp. So these guys, this track is really slick right now.
Very slick, short track racing. We got it all tonight, Brandon. It's going to be one heck of a show here, as always, with these Arca cars. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot of comers and goers here too. This place, you can definitely eat the tires up. With this being such an old surface and just being a short track, you got to be very, very methodical about how you drive this race car and how you place it on the racing line. But at the moment, still looks like James Corron hanging on to is actually Kel jumps up to the top of the board in that 117. So Kel Simon there getting himself on top of the board, and that's a guy we've seen qualify really good here in the Arca series multiple times, and I think he's brought him at least 2 poles so far.
Yeah, it seems to be that way, that the guys that you see up front every week, there's always one of them that just seems to always be on the pole. He just knows how to put down a really fast qualifying lap, where a lot of other guys, I personally struggle in qualifying. Really hard for me to put down that quick lap on the fresh tires, but a lot of guys have it down to a science.
It can very much be a science, my friend. It's never easy, and we'll have to see how it plays out. I mean, but running a quick lap right here is going to be different than running multiple clip wraps around here at race trim. So just because you qualify on that pole and got that track position does not mean this victory is yours. We've seen multiple times pole center kind of struggle in these races.
Yeah, it's one thing to put down one quick lap, but being able to put down quick laps consistently without really burning up your stuff by going too quick, that's the key here. And we'll see if some of these guys are able to figure out that happy balance.
Right now, as we're watching the 48 of Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. or Senior, sorry, sorry about that. It said Junior. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, Robert Fitzpatrick Senior out here putting down his qualifying lap. See where he can put himself on the board at the moment. Looks like he'll jump into the 18th position.
It's always nice to see a yet another father-son combo out here racing on Freaky Fast with these Arca series tonight for Evolution Racing Leagues. We've got Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. and Senior, as well as the nieces, Todd and David, over on SRU. So always cool to see these guys coming out here and making it a family affair.
Oh yeah, it's very cool to see family members racing with each other, and also family members supporting out there in our chats and our streams. So thank you to everybody that supports your family members here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It's really, really cool to see, and also, it's cool to race with your family members. I'm sure that's a very fun, special bond between those two gentlemen.
I tell you, Zach, it'd be I'd almost really like to have one of my brothers or something racing with me in a couple of the leagues that I run in, just so I had somebody that I can go bonk on the head when they decide to take me out in an unfortunate incident.
That's very true. You normally can't get to your other drivers out on the track, but if they're a family member, you know where they're at. So that always plays into the advantage of definitely getting a good talking with them. Looks like qualifying is over, guys. Kel Simon is going to be your Sheffield Graphics pole winner here tonight. And we will go to our starting grid and see the gentlemen who are starting this race. So we got Kel Simon bringing home the pole here with Justin Malarkey there in second. Third is going to go to James Courtrone. Fourth, Bob Fitzpatrick. Fifth is Steve Potter. Sixth, Randy Cornwell. Seventh is Stephen Carey. Eighth, Kevin Dowd. Ninth is Daniel Gonzalez. 10th, Josh Holmes. 11th, Zach Sandlin. 12th, Matt Upbrook. 13th is going to be David Edwards. 14th is Stephen Rasick. 15th, EJ McDowell. 16th will go to Carl Thomas. 17th is Buddy Pitts. 18th is Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. 19th is James Wright. 20th is GT Irizarry. 21st, Richard Fletcher. 22nd, Scott Taylor. 23rd, Michael Haru. And running at your field is Corey Budenot in 24th. So we got 24 cars here tonight. Don't believe all of them are gridding up, but we got a pretty good field, and we were going to get a talk in here with our Sheffield Graphics pole winner of Kel Simon. Here we go, pull him on down here, get him a talk with Mr.
Hey, Kale, it's Brennan in the booth. You got your ears on, bud.
Hey, Brandon, how are you, man?
Doing pretty good. Excited to see you guys muscle it around this speedway here in North Wilkesboro. We talked about the unknowns of this track. Not a lot of people have a lot of time on it. What do you think the challenges are going to be for this track tonight?
Keeping your car up under you off of each corner. It gets really, really slick, especially off of two. I didn't know what to expect with that qualifying. I didn't get a whole lot of practice, so I just went in and threw something at it, and it stuck. I couldn't believe it.
Put down a really quick lap, I believe. 3/10 or more, better than Justin in second place. So, really good lap time. Really excited to see how you guys can make your way around this track, and hopefully we can catch you at the end of this thing.
10-4, bud. Appreciate it.
All right, that was your Sheffield graphics pole winner there of Kale in the 117. That's still ready to bring us to the green flag for tonight's event here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. And pace car is in, green flag is in the air. Kel will lead us down to turn one with Justin Malarkey and James Courtroom.
38 James Courtroom had a little bit of wheel spin. Surprising to see this early in the race that the wheels are lighting up on the restarts. Definitely going to have to watch that, especially when the tires get worn in.
Yeah, if we see somebody restart on some older tires, those that, if they're already getting wheel spin this early, then the wheel spin's only going to get worse. And we'll have to monitor that. Wow, look at the battle there. Now James Courtroom, he lost that third position too.
Oh, Josh, 9 goes around.
Yeah, Josh Holmes sent around off of turn 2. We got our first Nissan Central caution here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, and we'll get ready to go back on our freaky fast replay here. As you see, they go down in turn 1, looking at Josh Holmes in that 9. Looks like he's got the 99 of Daniel Gonzalez there behind him. Don't believe it was contact between, it was contact between the 99 Daniel Gonzalez and Josh Holmes. And actually, no contact. Sorry about that. That was, looks like Josh Holmes just lost off of 2. And what did Kel just say, Brandon? He said turn 2 was slick.
Yeah, it looked like Josh just kind of went in a little bit hot, washed up the track, and got maybe on the gas a little bit too soon. Had to put a little bit more wheel into it off the corner with it tightening up, and just kind of lost it. Unfortunate that they made contact after the spin, but not too many cars got involved in that. It doesn't look like any serious damage.
Yeah, not too bad of damage for sure. And we know how bad the damage can be in these race cars here in the Arca series. It's the damage model is not forgiving in these cars, that's for sure.
Yeah, the slight damage with this damage model, it's not that bad, but hard contact is awful. It'll rip wheels off. You'll get your hood flying up, beating against the windshield.
Yeah.
Is another reminder that you messed up. But out of all the contact in that incident, I'm looking at Carl Thompson in the 66, and he's the most I'm concerned about. I don't know if maybe his left front's a little cambered out or towed out, but it's definitely showing a lot of that left front wheel.
Yeah, he's definitely got some left front fender damage there. It's showing a lot of that wheel exposed in it. Here at North Wilkesboro, you definitely don't need as much aerodynamic grip. You're not going to have mechanical grip issues there with that tire. Maybe probably knocked out toe a little bit, but we'll have to see how that affects Carl here in that 66. Running in the 13th position right now. Started 16th, so he did get 3 positions on that start. So good job by him here. But yeah, I don't think it'll affect him too bad there, Brandon.
I'd expect not, especially if he didn't feel it was necessary to come down pit road and get it looked at. I think the wheels probably pointed straight for him, and that's all the indication you need that you can keep going after it.
As we pace around here with our first Nissan Central caution tonight here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. And first lap, first caution. Very tough racetrack. That's what we're going to have to pretty much, knock this down to. This is one of the toughest tracks, that NASCAR's ever went to. A really tough, grueling track with completely different corners on each side.
Yeah, and you have to consider a lot of things here that you wouldn't at a traditional oval. As we mentioned, just the uphill backstretch and the downhill front stretch. Downhill front stretch, you have to brake a little bit sooner to help stop the momentum of the car rolling downwards, whereas turn 3, you can almost get on the brakes a little bit later, but you have to be careful with that transition because it will really lighten up the car, and the back end will definitely snap around on you in a hurry.
Yes, it will, as we are gearing to go back. Green flag racing. Pace car is in. Kale's going to lead us back to green. Green flag is back in the air as Kale in the 117 leads us down to turn 1.
16's around in the back off the nose of the 66. Unfortunate. Ooh. Robert Fitzpatrick's senior involved, as well as Richard in the 43.
Yeah, we're going to have to go back and check this out. This is our second caution of the night, brought to you by Nissan Central. And it started around that 16 of Buddy Pitts here. About to go back here on the Freaky Fast replay. Check out what happened here. As you see them all pulling away, and they're a little bit broken front end of the 16. But that contact started down to turn 1 between him and the 66 of Carl Thompson.
Yeah, just a typical short track accident right there. Somebody going in underneath somebody just a little bit too hot and catching the left rear slightly, just enough to send him around. I tell you, Zach, if Carl Thompson wasn't worried about his damage before, he might want to be worried about it now.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit worse. No, that's for sure. He's got some right front damage with that, and also the 16 there they hit also after it. Yes, not what you want to see there, as we can see right here on the replay. Look at that 66, just a little bit too deep. So able to get that 16, and it turns him around, sends him both up the racetrack into the wall. Robert Fitzpatrick Sr., they're nowhere to go in the 48, and then you can see from behind there, someone right into the back end of Robert Fitzpatrick Sr., which I believe that's Richard Fletcher in the 43 car. So you're already seeing some, chain reaction events here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway.
As we're looking back on that replay, let everybody know that Carl Thompson did come down pit road, and it looks like his right front is wobbling all over the place. Even under pace speed, he can barely make the corner, so he's going to be in there for a while getting that fixed.
So they said the damage model here, it's unforgiving, man. It's very much unforgiving and tough to deal with sometimes. But we'll have to see how it all shakes out. I believe pace car lights. No, they're still. So we will do one more pace lap around here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway and get ready to bring this thing back to green flag racing here. As we've had 2 early cautions here. And this is interesting too, Brandon. I think now that this has happened, I believe these guys should be able to make enough fuel all the way to the end of this race.
Yeah, it's, they've only got the 40% fuel load tonight, and they're only doing 60 laps. We're already, 12 laps in. I'm not sure on the numbers, but they very well might be able to make it. I think if there's late cautions, for sure, we're still going to see them come in because tires are going to be pretty invaluable. But for fuel, it may just be very well good.
We'll have to see as the pace car lights are off this time. We're going to get this thing back underway here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway in the foothills of North Carolina. Beautiful place, beautiful scenery.
Neck of the woods.
Yeah, definitely. It's the closest racetrack to me, but that pace car is going to pull in this time.
Green flag.
The 117 takes off of Kale down to turn 1 as we are back under green with the 73 of Justin Walker. Look at James Coulter making a move on Bob Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, looking back through the field, everybody's taking it a lot easier now, giving a lot more room. It's 24 almost. He hit the curb, got it to the 14. He's sliding. 24's around. Scott Taylor. No caution as of yet.
I don't think he'll get one there at the spot he's in. The 17 gets turned. Pole setter of Kale gets turned by, it looks like the 38 of James Coulter right into the back end of the 117. And that's our third Ford Nissan Central caution here tonight, as we'll go back to a freaky fast replay here. As you see, there's the top 3. There's the 117 going down to turn 1, our pole setter. The 38 in there really hard into the back bumper of Kale and just sends him around.
It's a little bit overdriving the corner there, but a bit unfortunate. It doesn't look too bad for Kale. But obviously he's going to be a bit upset losing all that track position, but his car should be pretty good.
Yeah, who took really the hardest hit was David Edwards. right into the driver's side door of Kale in that 15, and that's going to hurt that number 15 car. And this is a place where you can go a lap down pretty quick with the pace laps. So getting damage is tough here to get it fixed fast because this track you do a pace lap pretty quickly. Actually, 33 seconds only.
It's not as quick as Bristol. You got a little bit more time to get things fixed up, but if you've got even a little bit of required repairs on top of your optional, you'll definitely go a lap down, if not more.
Don't want to be sitting on pit road for too long, that's for sure, man. And it looks like we're going to get a single file restart, so we're going to get some throwback racing here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. This is throwing it back to the old days.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately for these guys, single file, a lot less risk for incidents. Nobody being side by side, but some of these guys are pretty much going to be on the backstretch when they get the green flag.
And what we've seen last time too from that last restart, Brandon, was Justin Malarkey able to use the outside line to get by Kale off of turn 1 and 2, and you just power down the straightaway ahead of him into 3. So if I'm Malarkey or someone, I'm thinking, hey, that outside line might be the way to go on these restarts because just thinking back from the races I've done here, the outside line has been tough. That's really kind of where you made your passes personally.
Yeah, and I completely agree, Zach. And I think a lot has to do with just how loose these cars are off the corner, having to put that much wheel in it to hug the bottom. Running the high side, you can get a lot straighter of an exit and help get the power down. So if anybody is able to make it really fast on the bottom and make passes, I'll be pretty surprised. But I think you're right. The outside is going to be the place you're going to want to set up your passes for.
Yes, sir, it is. And well, nobody's going to start on the outside. I just said he should probably think about starting on the outside. We're going single file, so that kind of throws the outside line out of the way there. So you'll be able to start a single file here. And with 20, 3 cars out here, that's going to be a pretty long line back. A lot of these guys are going to be restarting way back in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the pace car right now, it's in the center of 1 and 2, and right when they were going into 1 and 2, the back of the field was just getting into 3. So these guys are going to be really spread out now.
Yeah, we've just seen a little bit of aggression here that's led to some of these incidents here. One was a self spin, 2 of them just a little bit of contact involved, but we should be able to get this thing back under green as the pace car will pull in this time, and the green flag will wave in the air as Justin Malarkey leads us back to green with James Corron, who misses a shift and gets another caution here. Our 4th caution of the night, brought to you by Nissan Central, and we just saw that one live, but man, we'll have to check out and see what happened there. I think probably a missed shift there for the 38 possibly, as we're going back on the freaky fast replay.
Not uncommon to do. Not everybody, that's the beauty of iRacing is that, these cars in real life, they use the traditional HVAC 4-speed. Not everybody on iRacing will be using a 4-speed. Some people I know like to use it for, it's just more immersive. It makes you feel like you're more in the car. But a lot of people, like myself, prefer the paddle shifters. It's just a lot easier, and you don't have to worry about, making that mistake going from 2nd to 1st, thinking you're going to 3rd.
Very easy to do going from 2nd to 3rd, to hit 1st. And I think what I heard from him, it looks like he just kind of just, that was he went to 1st. So just unfortunate misshift there from James. And really nothing Bob Fitzpatrick could do there. That checkup was so fast, and you're expecting to be going and carrying that speed forward that really nothing the 3 could do.
Yeah, when a car misses a shift like that, it's almost like they just slam on the brakes, and there's no way to anticipate that on a start. You expect everybody to be full throttle as everybody's trying to get up to speed. So you're thinking at that point, how am I going to enter this corner? You're not even considering the fact that the guy in front of you might just come to a full stop.
Yeah, and they do have something weird a little bit. As James see, we got James sitting on pit road there getting his damages worked on. Got something weird going on here too with the pace car. Not sure if the guys are supposed to catch it or let it by. I think they're catching up to it now. But I believe they're catching up to it. Yeah, it's Malarkey are speeding up a little bit here to get up to back to back of the pace car. But the caution came out so soon that sometimes the placing of the pace car can be kind of weird.
Yeah, sometimes it can lead to almost a, I guess, a confusion in the programming, and luckily it didn't seem like it. Maybe trapped guys a lap down. Their admins aren't going to have to worry about trying to sort people with wave arounds. Just had to drive around again, catch a pace car, and looks like everybody's pretty fine.
Looks like they have, and oh, we got Justin Bowles out there and in chat. What's up, Justin? Thanks for tuning in, man.
Howdy, Justin.
As we're under our fourth caution of the night here, brought to you by Or Nissan Central, the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So remember to go check out their website too at www.ornissancentral.com. As you're seeing a few guys get the wave around there. They got stuck in between the pace car and the leader of Justin Malarkey with Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. there in second.
Well, that's good news for a lot of these guys that especially had pretty heavy damage early on. That, yeah, they had to sit on pit road, go laps down, but the more cautions they get, just keep taking that wave around, and with unlimited sets of tires, it's not going to hurt them that bad.
Well, it's not, as we're back under green here tonight at North Wilkesboro Speedway as they go down to turn one. Justin Lucky leading this thing with Bob Fitzpatrick second, Stephen Carey third, Stephen Potter fourth, Matt Upbrook fifth from 12th. So big movers here early in this race. Is looking riding on board here with Bob Fitzpatrick. He's looking to the inside of that 80 or that 73 of Justin Markey. Justin Markey getting a really good run off the top.
And you can just see the wiggle out of Bob Fitzpatrick there on the bottom, just trying to get back to the gas and match the speed that Justin's getting off the top, but just not quite there yet.
Yeah, man, that top is pretty strong. I think you're going to see a few of these guys use it as, oh, we got our fifth Or Nissan Central caution here. I believe it's in the back of the pack here with the 43, I believe. Yeah,
the 40, the 3 or the 8 of James Wright.
So it happened. Yeah, it happened around the 8 of James Wright here, who is in the 3. He comes around off at 4, and look, Richard Fletcher nowhere to go into 43, right to the side of the door, and that is our fifth caution of this evening.
I was looking at the restart there, Zach, with Cale Seaman and James in the 38. Seeing how much they could get back through the field, and my first thought was, they've got the speed, they've shown it to be able to lead, but you've got to not get caught up in these wrecks and the messes that are happening back in the pack. Luckily, they just made it around that one.
They luckily did there, Brandon, but you got to think about time here. We're halfway now in this race already, and it's going to click off very fast once we especially get some green flag laps in. You're running 18-second laps. 30 laps will click off in a blink of an eye. So got to get up there quickly. But Kel's already up to 13th. You got James Corron up to 17th already. Big movers of GT there in that 14th, 20th from 8th. You got Steven Rasick 14th to 7th. Matt Upbrook 12th to 5th. Michael Haru 23rd to 12th. Some big movers throughout the field.
Yeah, and with it's just kind of a war of attrition. If you can just keep yourself out of trouble, you'll make up spots naturally. I guess what you call freebies, just having guys have issues ahead of you and being able to stay away from it. Talk about unlimited tire sets and all this. The way it's trending right now, I'd be very surprised if I see anybody in the top 5 come in to take tires. It just seems, track position itself is more valuable because you just don't have the time, like you said.
Yeah, it's right now it's really coming down the track position. I don't think you're going to see anybody pitting this the rest of this race. Well, unless you're in the back somewhere, but don't see the reason to pit here. Definitely. Shout out to Jason Misner out there in the chat saying hi from Pennsylvania. Welcome to Freaky Fast Broadcast. We appreciate you tuning in, Jason. As we continue to pace around here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway here at the Arca Evolution Series. And I tell you what, we've seen some pretty interesting little of wrecks here, but anything can still happen here. I mean, like I said, I think pitting is out of the window now. If you're up here in the front, you're pretty much, you're going to stay out the rest of this race and try to get to the end. But you never know. If we see something big happen, you could see somebody who pits and gets some new tires and possibly be able to make it.
Yeah, I think if you pit from here, Zach, you've got to have a lot of faith in your wreck avoidance skills to get back up to the front on them fresh tires. It's possible, but only if you get green flag laps.
Yeah, and you just can't drive through people, so you never, it's tough. But here we are, getting ready to go back green. Pace car's in this time. Justin Malarkey takes off down to turn 1 with Bob Fitzpatrick and Stephen Carey there in third. Pretty much single file from here as we got single file restart. So see how it starts to shake up here from behind. But Justin Malarkey doing a good job to hold on to this lead through these restarts.
Well, I will say a bit farther back, Zach, and for the 10th position now, I believe, Randy Cornwell in the 18. I noticed on the last restart, he was making a lot of headway. I had to check and see. Yes, he pit on lap 22. Maybe only took some fuel or just right side tires, but he's making a lot of moves.
Yes, he is. There to the inside of Zach Sandlin. So we'll see if he can complete that pass and move himself up into the 9th position. You got GT ahead of him. Steven Basic there ahead of him in that number 2 machine.
Looks like we might be in store for a green flag run here. We see a lot of guys throughout the pack. That second line has been able to hold off the inside pretty well. Always good to see multi-group racing.
Yeah, that's something I noticed here the one time I ran here, man. You could run the bottom and make speed around it, but if you ever got to the inside of somebody, it was so hard and so tough to make the pass. You had to be so patient, and that's what you're seeing here right now with a lot of these guys back here. With Josh Holmes there in the 9, he's on the inside. Kale, looks like Kale's gonna make the pass on the outside.
Well, you just said it, Zach. If you're on the inside, you've got to have a lot of patience. And Bob Fitzpatrick, riding the inside of Justin Malarkey, showed a lot of patience and was eventually able to make that pass for the lead.
Yes, he was. He's able to take the lead here from Justin Malarkey, Stephen Carey. There now in that 3rd position, not too far behind. You also got Matt Uproke trying to get to the inside of Stephen Potter for that 4th position with that number 19. Looks like he will complete the pass for 4th here as we go down to turn 1. Also got Kevin Dowd and GT up on the high line at 14.
That nice little
pass around the outside too. Ooh,
yeah. Aggressive moves from the 14 to GT Rosari. We know he's a pretty stout driver. Up at the front, always at these races in intense, and he's showing right now, hey guys, I've got the speed, I know I do. Just got to try to get around here smart and cleanly.
This great battle between Stephen Potter and GT. Not a lot of room between them two, but they are racing their hearts out. I think GT's finally going to get a good drive here to get a nose ahead, entering 1, but Potter comes back on the outside. Can GT get the run off of turn 2? I think he does. A little bit loose.
He's trying, man. He is wheeling that thing off the corner, just trying to edge out Steve Potter there. Finally making the pass.
And Randy Cornwell tried to follow through, but Steve Potter closed that door on that 18 from behind.
Zach, thinking about it, we were at the Milwaukee Mile last night, and
there's someone around. Don't know who that was. The red car. That's all. Looks like that.
7 of Michael Haru.
Yeah, he's gonna get it back fired up though on this inside line. But here comes the leaders on his outside here, right as they go down to turn 3 and 4. Looks like he'll be all good. Gets it back up to speed in that 7 machine.
I don't know if he's really hurt in that car or if he's just trying to make sure these leaders can get around him safely. But he doesn't look to have that bad of damage.
No, he doesn't. As we are coming to 15 to go already, Brandon. Like I said, laps click off pretty quickly here at this racetrack, and that's what we're seeing so far. With someone else hitting the ball.
Going back to our leader, Bob Fitzpatrick, coming out of 4 right now, and just ahead of him is Robert Fitzpatrick Sr., the old man, in 16th. He's slowly reeling him in here. I think that's probably might be his goal. See if he can't put Dad a lap down by the end of this race.
Is Bob Fitzpatrick looking pretty strong here as we ride on board with him. You know, him and Justin kind of broke him away from Stephen Carey there. So they're starting to build a little bit of a gap. But Justin Malarkey has not let Bob get away. This could come down to the very end here with 12 to go. And it's going to get pretty wild.
Well, looking at it last time by, the fastest car on the racetrack seemed to be Randy Cornwell on that 18 machine by about 2/10 over the leaders. So he's making a little bit of ground, but running out of time to do it. 10 laps to go.
Matt Upbrook also looking pretty strong lap time-wise, by a 10th faster. So is Randy Cornwell again. It's, yeah, time is going to be the constraint for those gentlemen, as it's 10 to go here at the Arca Evolution Series at North Wilkesboro Speedway. As we look back at Dan Gonzalez, Justin Malarkey trying some different things, searching up there in the third lane behind our leader, Bob Fitzpatrick.
Oh, Cale Seaman moving up to 10th position here. Big pack of cars with James Courtrow and Zach Sandlin, and they're battling it out. You know, Cale and James trying to make it back up to the lead. It's almost a battle just between themselves for, hey, we were the fastest cars. We're kind of mired back here in traffic, but let's just go ahead and see who's really got what.
Great battling back there for that 10th and 11th position. We're riding on board with Malarkey here. So he's trying his best to get to that number 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick. Bob Fitzpatrick being very smooth, not making any mistakes here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. As we're coming to 7 to go this time. What can Justin Malarkey do to get this victory?
I've noticed a few guys seem to be running that, you know, really high line through 3 and 4. Looks like Justin trying a little wider entry there. Looked like Bob slid up a little bit loose off the corner as well. All these are things that Justin do. We've got a caution.
Yes, we do. This will be our 6th caution of the evening. I believe Michael Haru involved. Also, 17 of Kale. We go back on the freaky fast replay. Here to look at our Nissan Central caution. Oh, I believe it happened ahead of him with the 38 and the 117. Looks like what happened was the 38 got loose off of 2, got into the door of that 117. He went to the inside wall. I think the car ahead of Michael Haru checked up. Michael Haru didn't have the time to react. And Haru into the back bumper of that car ahead, and that's going to send him around for our caution here tonight, the 6th of the evening.
Well, it looks like this is going to set up for a green-white checkered, and as crazy as it's been already, I don't know if they're going back to double file restarts for this restart, but if so, it's just going to up the intensity level quite a bit more, having Bob Fitzpatrick and Justin Malarkey starting side by side.
Yeah, you also had GT there getting to the 4th position with Randy Cornwell getting up to 5th. So those two steady movers through the field.
Yeah, you know, it's not a win. They're very close, and a lot of things could happen on this restart. But got to be happy with a top 5 for sure. Especially GT is already up 16 positions now in that 4th spot. So great night for him so far.
I believe we will have. I believe it'll be a 1-lap shootout possibly. We'll have to see. It'll probably extend here since it'll only be 1 to go once the lights go out or once they take the green. So we'll have to see if this will be our first attempt at a green-white checkered here this evening. But we do have 2 attempts. So we'll see. As right now looking at the man leading this race, Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. in that 3 machine. Pretty strong so far.
I'm sitting here listening to the radio chatter. They are in fact going double file for this restart, and Ryan comes over the race control and very happily announces that they're getting all the cautions out of the way tonight, so they're not getting any in the race to follow at Kansas for the Cup Series.
Glad to see how that all shakes out here. We're not to miss that race either at 9:20 here live on Freaking Fast Broadcasting their Cup race here for their playoffs at the RSR Cup Series and Evolution Racing Leagues. It's going to be one well of a night there But you know what's interesting here, Brandon. With the double file going back here, the thing that I'm interested to see is Malarkey made the outside lane work on Kale. He knows it can work. I don't want to say he's going to make the outside work here, but I think it's going to be tough to hold that bottom with the car on the outside.
Well, I think if he can stay even with Bob Fitzpatrick, he can make that outside lane work for sure. You're going to have to worry about wheel spin here. These tires on a lot of these guys, they've yet to pit, and they're going to have to really consider wheel spin. But Bob Fitzpatrick has the leader advantage, and he can pull out a pretty significant lead if he times it right.
It's all about timing here as the pace car pulls in this time. Green flag is out. Bob Fitzpatrick is away. Oh, he does gears as well. And look at this. Malarkey sends it into the outside lane here. Look at this outside lane roll. The 73 will have the one off of 2. He takes the lead down the back straightaway. Bob Fitzpatrick.
Oh no!
Wrecking from behind. Oh no. As we will have a caution here.
Oh, a big one.
Second green white checker. Oh, really big one. For the 7th caution of this evening. Brought to you by Nissan Central. We'll go back to our fast replay here. Check this out. Off of 2. Here comes GT on the outside. Gets a little bit into that outside wall. Sends him down to Stephen Carey in that 83. Randy Cornwell nowhere to go. As he barely misses, Randy Cornwell does. Matt Upbrook nowhere to go in that car. And man, you can see from here, it just lots of carnage.
Yeah, typical short track after an accident. There's not a lot of places to go.
Well, now we've seen the outside lane prevail again. If I'm Malarkey, I'm taking the outside lane.
I think based on that, I would assume that Malarkey would say, hey, not only am I going to have the leader's advantage now to choose when to go, but I'm also going to have that outside line. If he can get up through the gears like he did last time and not, maybe make the same mistake or bobble that Bob Fitzpatrick in the 3 did on the last restart, I don't think anybody can catch him. That outside just seems to be so strong from the drop of the green flag for restarts.
I really think that's going to be the thing that we're going to see, but we'll have one final green-white checkered attempt here. Our second one of this race, 7th caution. Man, oh man, it's been a tough North Wilkesboro, but I tell you what, these guys are going to run it down to the very end here, and we're going to see who can pull off this Sheffield Graphics Race Winner Award. As I was so close to saying the Sheffield Graphics white flag was out, but we were just in 3 and 4. Never can count them chickens too early. I believe the pace car lights, will they go out this time? No, they won't. So we'll have one more pace lap around this racetrack before we get them lights off and Garrett to bring this thing back to Green Flag Racing. Thank you for everybody tuning in here tonight. Shout out to all the sponsors of Sheffield Graphics or Nissan Central, the ButtKicker, Gamer 2, Feel What You've Been Missing, Rocket Racing Setups, all the amazing sponsors we have here on Freaky Fast and at the Evolution Racing Leagues. You can also check out the merch stores down below. And yes, Malarkey will take the outside lane here. But yes, you can check out the merch stores from Evolution Racing Leagues and Freaky Fast there in the description down below in the live stream. So thank you for everybody tuning in here tonight. And don't forget, we have another main event here coming up at 9:20. So we'll get to see how that all shakes out here soon.
Well, Zach, looking at the scoring here, GT up 16 positions in 4th place right now. I think he's in 3rd, just swapping around as their double file. But can't forget Richard Fletcher in the 43, up 10 positions in 11th. So he's having a fantastic night himself.
Yes, he has here as we get ready to get them all lined up here. Pace car is going to pull in this time. Justin Malarkey, your leader. Green flag is in the air. Malarkey is off on the outside lane. Clears the bottom. But Randy Cornwell now to the outside.
Oh, no.
A wreck from behind. And the caution is back out here. And that will be race over. Justin Malarkey, your winner. I believe Randy Cornwell will come in the 2nd position with Bob Fitzpatrick in 3rd. Wow. So it looks like we'll have to go back and see what happened there. But I believe it was between GT and the 83 of Stephen Carey.
I believe looking at the scoring, I think GT will still be scored ahead of Steven in 4th position. Ooh, is GT showing his displeasure?
Yes, sir. This is North Wilkesboro, man. It can get rough. But Justin Malarkey will pace one final time around here. And he is your winner here tonight. Your Sheffield Graphics race winner, Justin Malarkey in the 73. Congrats to him. And Randy Cornwell will bring home the 2nd position with Bob Fitzpatrick in 3rd. So great race here tonight at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. And like I said before, don't forget to tune in at 9:20 for the Cup Series action. But not only that, but we have our podium interviews here coming up in one moment, and we will be right back here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. All right, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, with our top 3 podium finishers here tonight. And our first man we're going to get talking here with Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. to see what his thoughts are. What's leading one last, looking strong at 3. Of course, last 2 pitchers not playing out for him. He won't, and unfortunate. But we'll see what his thoughts are on the North Wilkesboro. Hey, Bob, it's
Hey, Bob. I think Zach might be having some issues with his internet, but Brandon up here in the booth, bud, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Not the outcome we hoped for right there. But
Yeah, it was a heartbreaker. You looked like you had this thing locked in up until those checkers, or cautions, excuse me, at the end there. A little bit of a miscue, it looked like, on that first green-white checkered. What happened, bud?
well, the tires were gone. You know, they got a little loose on the start, but I don't think the inside line. I should have thought about that. You know, we choose the outside on that first green-white. And then I think I would have been able to have it, but the tires just couldn't hold the inside line for speed on the green-white checkers. But I definitely 100% think I would have won that race if we stayed green.
Yeah, it looked like once you got out front, you were pretty hard to beat. Not gapping them by too much, but definitely keeping the speed that they were going to really have to wheel it to get to you. Unfortunate. Also noticed you have your dad that joined the league. You know, how cool is it to be racing against your old man?
Yeah, we were doing it on Monday nights in a different league, but we got, you know, they got that Arca, the steps here, so I thought it'd be good because, you know, he's still learning a little bit, getting better at it, so I figured to hop him in here for Arca and get better at the iRacing here. It'd be fun.
You know, hopefully you guys, you know, he gets a little bit more up to speed and gets a handle on things. You guys can be contending for wins together, so be looking forward to seeing that. Well, before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to, go celebrate your 3rd place?
Yeah, just the my wife letting me do this every once in a while. The Clutch Motorsports, or H2 in Arca, and hopefully talk to you guys here in about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That sounds good, Bob. Looking to see what you can do in the Cup Series at Kansas. So until then, have a good one, bud.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
And that was your third place finisher of Bob Fitzpatrick Jr. And now we'll bring up our second place finisher, the 18 of Randy Cornwell. Hey, Randy, it's Brandon in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you. What's up?
Well, looking at the way you put that race together, it looked like you came in and put tires on at lap 22, and it seemed to be the difference because you came charging up through the field. Do you think you maybe would have had a shot at getting the lead had a couple more green flag runs?
Maybe. It's very hard to pass. I had to force my way to the outside to make it work. Justin there, he did it perfect. So I was setting him up to push him further than he wanted to go on the restart, but he didn't go like he had the time before. So he did it perfect, and it was. I didn't really want to pit. That wasn't my strategy. I got spun around when one of the incidents happened in the front. It sent me to like 15th, and I was like, well, you might as well pit and go back to 23rd and give it a shot, like you say, new tires, and pick off a couple, caution come out, pick off a couple, caution come out. So it's fun race though.
I mentioned it during the race. I was keeping an eye on you, and you making some moves to the inside of guys on the restarts, just picking up a couple positions at a time. But like you said, you had a little bit of a problem getting spun out, but took a bad situation, made the best of it, and got a pretty good result. So can't complain about that. We go to Kansas, I believe, next for you guys in about an hour for the Cup Series. How are you feeling about Kansas?
With a little luck, I'll run. I'm not worried about how well I run. I just haven't been playing the strategy very well the past couple of races. Like Indy went green for all of those laps. I made the wrong decision. So we'll just have to see. I kind of go on the fly. I try to do. So if I don't have the speed, if I qualify like 5th or 6th in practice, I can't keep up, I'll try to start strategizing from the drop of the green flag. It'll either work or it won't, kind of deal.
Well, looking forward to it. You seem to always, show a lot of speed late in the runs and make your way to the front. So hopefully that strategy is able to work out for you, or you just got outright speed, but we're looking forward to it. And before we let you go here, you got anybody you want to send a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank Big Bubba's Chicken for all they do for me. They help me a lot. They actually give me money for sim racing, which is just to help you out. They sponsor my real life race cars. So that's pretty cool. Thank you guys for putting on a good broadcast. I know it's kind of probably a rough one for y'all with all the cautions, but hopefully Kansas will be really good.
All right, bud. Well, enjoy second place, and hopefully you can mirror the results or do one better come an hour now. So we'll let you go.
Yeah, it's an elimination race for us. So yeah, I might need to remember that when I'm thinking of those strategies.
Yeah, definitely. Don't put yourself in a position to be on the wrong side of that. But good luck, bud, and hopefully we'll catch you in the next one.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it.
Well, Randy Cornwell, and that impressive rebound for second after the early issues. But now we'll bring up tonight's race winner of Justin Malarkey. Hey, Justin, it's Brandon. How you doing, bud?
Brandon, what's going on? How are you?
Well, can't complain, man. Imagine you're doing a little bit better after pulling out that win. Had some strong speed throughout the whole race, really. What were you doing that race that, we noticed you made the outside work pretty well. Did it just seem like that much better than the inside?
I love running on the outside. A lot of times it doesn't work, but when it comes in, I love it. I just love getting up there. I was trying to bottom for a while, and then I'm going up top, and if you could just get there, you can kind of pinch them down. But the cars got tight, too, after like the 25, 30 laps running. But, yeah, it came to life, and I was catching my field before the cautions at the end, and then I got the outside restart, and I'm thinking, if I don't spin the tires, I'm not turning as much on the inside. So I was excited for that restart right before I got the lead. I was looking forward to that one.
Well, you mentioned that restart, and as everybody knows that watch, you managed to take the lead and then hang on for the victory. Before that would have come out, do you feel you had a good shot of running down Bob Fitzpatrick in that 3? Because he looked pretty strong once he got out front.
Yeah, it's hard to pass, definitely. To answer your question, I'm not sure. I feel like I was getting to his outside a couple times, but I never could get to his outside coming out of the corner to pinch him down there. So I don't know. The car was really starting to handle pretty good. I could see him sliding up the track a little bit, coming in the corners, and I was able to get under him a little bit, but I didn't want to be on the inside. I wanted to get to the outside. In the beginning of the race when he got by me on lap like 30, 35, I was trying to take care of the tires, and I wanted to run that outside line. I'm thinking if I could hold him down on the inside for 5 or 6 laps, heat up his right front, I'll be in good shape for the long run. But he ended up sneaking by me there, and then I was in the bad position.
Yeah, we were talking about it at the time that patience made that bottom line pull off. But luckily, patience is good, but luck plays a big role in racing, and got a lucky break for that caution to kind of reset everything. And he took the lead from there and hung on for the victory. So congratulations.
Yeah, it does. Luck matters a lot.
Well, I've always said that it's better to be lucky than good. Before we let you go here, I don't know if you run in the Cup Series. If you could. I don't know right offhand, but if you do, good luck. But before we let you go, anybody you want to send a shout out to?
Yes. So I'm not in the Cup Series yet. I'm hoping to get pulled up there next year. That'll be really exciting for me, and definitely the people that watch me. My parents, brother, sister, wife, and baby tomorrow morning will watch, and because they're probably getting to bed, although I hear them running upstairs. And hopefully anyone else who watches on the broadcast, I hope they enjoy pulling for me. I hope I make it fun, and I hope it make it fun for you guys. And thanks for doing the broadcast. I go and watch it all the time before I go to bed. I love it.
Well, good win here might promote you to a Cup ride for the next season, or even sooner than that. So hopefully that works out for you, bud. But hopefully have a good result next week when we catch you. But until then, enjoy the victory.
Yeah, and if not, I have fun here. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It's all good. It's all fun.
That's right.
All right, thanks. I will talk to you guys again.
Have a good one, bud.
See ya. Take care.
And that was our race winner, Justin Malarkey. Very excited by the sounds of it to pull out that race win tonight.
Am I good?
I think you're good, Zach.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there. But we will go to our race results now. Great interviews there, Brandon. Thank you for taking that over. I just went robot-y, I think. But Justin Malarkey here, as you see, pulling off the victory. A very happy man there in the 73, pulling that victory off. Second's going to go to Randy Cornwell. Third, Bob Fitzpatrick. Fourth is going to be Matt Upbrook. Fifth, Daniel Gonzalez. Sixth, James Court Roan. Seventh is Richard Fletcher. Eighth, Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. Ninth, Steve Potter. 10th is Stephen Rasek. 11th, Zach Sandlin. 12th, Kevin Dowd. 13th, David Edwards. 14th, Josh Holmes. 15th, first car lap down is Stephen Carey. 16th will be GT Irizarry. 17th, Michael Haru. 18th is going to go to James Wright in that 8 machine. 19th is Scott Taylor. 20th, Kel Simon. 21st, Carl Thompson. 22nd, BJ McDonald. 23rd, Buddy Pitts. And rounding out the field is Corey Boudinot in 24th. That is our official race results here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Man, what a race we've seen, Brandon. What were your thoughts on that, man?
Well, Zach, it looked like just typical short track race, and a lot of close, tight corners, low speed, upset cars, and a little bit of contact. And by the looks of it at the end, maybe some bent tempers as well, hurt feelings. But good race overall, and exciting as always here on Tuesdays for these Arca cars.
That it was, man. Couldn't have said it better myself, Brandon. And now we'll send it up to the boss man himself, Robert Moyer Jr., to close it all out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for tuning in here tonight at Freaky Fast Broadcasting on a Tuesday night with the doubleheader with Brandon Colley and Zach Hall calling actions in both tracks. As guys, we get ready to head to Kansas, and this is a knockout round. And so far as of the playoffs, starting with RSR Racing League, we had one chase driver literally get a win to lock themselves into the next round. Other than that, it is up for grabs. Anything can happen. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for us to go live at 9:20 Eastern with RSR Racing League and see what them guys can do at Kansas. But until then, we want to say God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
Sayonara, everybody.
Bye, everybody.